Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of The Cheap Seats. It's our FPL show, the final one of the season. And I know myself and Cyrus are very, very happy to be ending the season. It's been a long 38 weeks, and we're finally there. My only goal right now, gents, is to break the 1 million barrier. I think I'm 1,050,000. I'm there and thereabouts. So hopefully, if I can finish in the top 1 million, it'll be something of an achievement for the season. How was your game week 37s? There was a change at the top of our log. Dean, trusting Richarlison, I assume.
With the captain's son.
So did I.
Yeah, and
So
and losing out to Tepo, who overtook him for second place, and Kent as well overtook him. Kent has a 60-point lead ahead of these two, who are going to be trying to chase him down in the final week. Kent might have won it, but you never know. He could also captain Son and not win anything because Spurs aren't winning on Sunday.
Okay.
Against Norwich. This guy.
all that Mpo has left.
I'm not commenting.
He just has jibes. He doesn't have anything else. He just has jibes. His team bottled it worse than Chelsea in a penalty shootout in a cup final. He's bottled it bad. But
at Wembley, Cyrus, at Wembley.
Yeah.
At Wembley.
You need a petition that you can't play finals at Wembley. You should play somewhere else.
No, look, we'll get over that hump. I think that if we throw enough final appearances in, we should get at least one of them.
You've had 3.
Hey, in a row. In a row. That goes to show you how good they are getting there. Anyway, isn't this the FPL show?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. But before we carry on, we've got Cyrus's favorite team to just add a little bit more stick. But this is a beautiful jersey here from Classic Shirt ZA, Chelsea 2003-2005. It's Perm Drogba shirt. And I know the two Chelsea fans with me, Tepo and Cyrus, a little bit of fans of that. I know Cyrus is wearing Perm Drogba.
Yeah,
but Tepo, when you look at that kit, what do you think?
That's the reason I support Chelsea. I mean, you're a young kid in South Africa. You see a black guy in a blue kit. You're like, that guy's cool. Scores some
with
goals.
a perm.
I might perm my beard. Thinking about it, perming the beard. Anything's possible.
He just made everything look cool. So yeah, even makes that kit look cool. So definitely a guy. I was in the year after that, the Jose Mourinho year. But yeah, that's definitely, it feels nostalgic just looking at that guy there.
Okay. So you can get that shirt at classicshirts.co.za. Please go check it out. They're also on Instagram at classicshirts.za. I'm wearing a shirt I got from there. I'm reminding myself of a team that doesn't bottle things. And that's Bafana Bafana 1996.
Because they don't have anything to bottle.
Look, this is the team.
Qualification. Hello.
You know, we won a trophy, whereas you're wearing.
That team.
Yeah, that team did very well. But obviously, Dean's wearing his Spursy shirt, and Cyrus is putting on the Drogba Cite when Drogba was the dangerous man in the streets. Remember, you can use the Cheap Seats 50 code to get a discount. So now I'm going to go through my team. Every week, we go through all the changes we want to do for the final week. This is what I'm going to do. This is Heartbreak Hotel. This is reactionary, so please don't judge me because my team was horrible over the week. And so I've decided to bring in Destroyer in Chief of Arsenal's season, Callum Wilson. Up front, I've decided to let Kelechi Iheanacho go. I had a bit of a problem because obviously it's a funds thing, so I had to look for a striker around 7. And Callum Wilson's one of those guys. Newcastle having a great season. They wouldn't mind pulling away and doing the business in the final game of the season. Obviously, my differential is him. I don't think a lot of people had thought that Callum Wilson would have played this past game week. And then I'm going for Son for captain because why? Because I know Arsenal's not making Champions League and Spurs are. And all they need to do is beat Norwich. If Tottenham does not beat Norwich, I do not know what else. So I'm putting all my baskets in the human son.
We just need a draw.
They don't need to beat them,
We just
and
need
I
a
think,
draw.
but good picks though, and I think a lot of us might be thinking the same thing because Norwich have been the whipping boys. People have beaten them left, right, and center, and perhaps this might be the last time we see them. Who knows? Those guys are they're
Nah,
harder
next
to
season.
take than
Bar
the
Fulham,
tax.
what's
We'll
up,
see them
Norwich?
next season.
Yeah,
Next
Another
season.
yo-yo team, up and down,
but
up
let's
and
see.
down.
Let's see. But Mpo's picks are pretty interesting because I really like Callum Wilson, and his injuries
so
cost a
good.
lot of us points. He's just such a great striker, and I think Newcastle will try their damnness to keep him fit next season because I think he'll flourish under Eddie Howe.
He walked onto
Yes.
that pitch, and you could see every single Arsenal defender said, "Oh shit, I don't know what to do. This guy is running at me. He is bossing me around. He had no idea what to do."
He was throwing himself all over the place. Basically, like the Premier League Mitrovic. So
Fair enough.
Okay, the Premier League Mitrovic. Let's go
He's
to
coming
you, Cyrus.
back.
Cyrus, your picks for the final weekend. You're taking out Starboy. I'm so disappointed. But you're bringing a guy who many people thought had a very poor
Grealish.
season
Yeah.
in Jack Grealish.
Hectic.
And then you've also gone Anthony Gordon, who was red carded 2 weeks ago. So, so you're assuming that Everton's going to beat Arsenal, and then you've gone for human son. Put the knife in my back a little bit
assumptions. No assumptions. I had to take somebody out. So the reason I even went and picked Grealish was in that West Ham game, he was all over the place. He actually, it was one of his best games in a City shirt. He really looked the part. I think playing at Villa Park is going to feel really, really special for him as well. And I can imagine he's going to weigh in because this will be his first league title if he manages to put in a good performance and City beat Villa. So I think Jack Grealish should be a pretty good pick there. Anthony Gordon's just a differential. I have him in the team, and so I'm not really going to bring him in. He was one of those where I felt Everton have a lot to play for. They really need the points, and he's been one of the better players for them. So, he might assist on a goal for Richarlison, who I also have.
He's
as
a
well.
quick winger, so my
Really
poor fullbacks are going to suffer.
No,
Also, he's 4.6 million. He's ridiculously
that was
cheap
basically
in
it. So that's why differential wise, you're like, okay, you can't go wrong with somebody who costs so little.
Yeah.
And then the other picks being, Son should be a no-brainer, and he's done it against Norwich before. Spurs really need these points, and I think that they'll be really motivated to get at Norwich very quickly. And I think that's why a lot of us might be picking Spurs players within this space. I also have Kulusevski, Dean's favorite. He's been a really, really great signing. But
AKA the ginger salad.
Now you recognize the signing.
Yeah. I liked
bro.
him as a signing, but I didn't think that he was a better signing than Luis Diaz. That's just madness. But the other thing for me is I don't know if Bukayo Saka performs well in this weekend's game. I think that Arsenal will beat Everton. If anything, I think everybody in the bottom four is going to lose this weekend. It's just by how much. Because I don't see the great escape happening. Like, do you see Leeds winning their game? I don't specifically see it. And then I look at Burnley, and I'm like, Burnley could really lose to Newcastle in that fixture. So every single one of these games, Brentford could absolutely annihilate Leeds. They put Everton to the sword, and Everton played pretty well. And I think that Everton weirdly perform better away from home than they do at home.
Wait, hold up, Cyrus. It's
Chelsea
just
as
been the
well.
past month. Because before that last win away from home, they lost every other game away from home.
That's my point. Is that in this run-in, they've performed a bit better away from home. They don't have the fan pressure. So all they have is the pressure of just going out there and trying to win this game. And for me, if I look at it, I think everything stays the same. I think Frank keeps Everton up, and I think that the reason will be because they somehow managed to lose by less than any of the other teams.
Okay.
Wait,
so now we're
can I
gonna
quickly
go,
jump in with? Oh, sorry. Yeah, just the Jack Grealish pitch. Aren't you like afraid of rotation? Like,
look,
what if he doesn't start? Like, the only people that are guaranteed in that team are De Bruyne.
There are no
Cancelo.
guarantees. There are no guarantees, but it is the last game of the season. And if I'm ever going to roll the dice on Pep, I'm going to go for it. And the thing about it is
that
Pep is the
guy.
kind of guy. Yeah.
He could come good.
And
He could come
look at
good.
his,
What
but
about
look at his
Foden?
price. Look at his price.
For 7.5,
Foden could
I mean, the better picks, I don't know. It's not like
I have
City
a
can't
feeling.
score a lot of goals, but
I have a
like he's probably
feeling.
going to. Okay,
Just-
you know what?
To say
You
this,
know what?
Cyrus's feelings have been right because 5 weeks ago he
Richarlison
called
before,
Richarlison.
Yeah,
Yes,
He
Okay.
called Richarlison. And all of us probably have Richarlison in our teams.
yeah.
we do.
Yeah, but double game week. Duh.
Yeah, but that's why.
But the thing for me is Grealish. Grealish is one of those guys where I think Pep looks at the story of a game as well, and he'll look at this and say, Jack Grealish at home, it almost writes itself. This could be. I mean, I don't think he's expecting a reverse Aguero, with Liverpool winning the league on the last day. But I think that he might look at this and say, Jack, go out there and do what you do best. You know these guys. You know exactly how to take care of them. Give us what we need.
If
Downside
we
is
get
just
that,
crazy.
I don't know
But I'll
if
wait.
Manchester United fans would be happy or sad. But yeah,
It's that poison thing again, which
Yeah.
is the most delicious poison.
yeah, I don't think they'll be able to celebrate. I'd be celebrating, but like, yeah. So anyway,
Would you?
Dean-
Would you really?
yes, because imagine snatching the league on the last second or the last kick of the season.
You know what? It's a bit like saying, imagine at the end of Harry Potter, unbeknownst to everybody, Voldemort had this thing, and he just did it. Final whistle, he slaughtered them all. I just can't do it. I would rather City win the league than Liverpool come from nowhere and suddenly the quadruple is on. Is this really what you want, people?
So
In,
now
in
we
this
know
era
you
as
want
well,
that.
the quadruple in this era is just mad.
I mean,
You
and
know, if
I've
that
equated
happens-
I've equated them to Voldemort. I'm just saying they're the team who should not be named.
Okay, cool. Speaking of teams that should be named, number 3 on our log is Dean. So Dean,
Why you guys
how are
rubbing it
you
in,
gonna
man?
make it? Either A, get past Temple, or B, bring Kent back.
Yeah, I think it's pretty easy to see on the picture there. Spurs. So transfer out. So I've been planning this Norwich game for quite a while. Really, before any of the North London derby and anything, I wanted to have both Son and Kane for that Norwich game, just because I think it would have been, if you go 2 weeks back, even last week, this time we were behind Arsenal. But I still think that game is a lot of points for Spurs. So now that we are on a bit of a high and we've got Champions League in our hands, I think even more so the guys will deliver. So Richarlison against Arsenal probably could have kept him, and he will probably score. But Kane versus Norwich for me is a bigger differential factor, because having Son and Kane in that team is just, there has to be a goal. Like, I wake up in cold sweats thinking that there won't be a goal, but everything in me says there has to be one. So for me, the reason why I'm captaining Son over Kane is also the Golden Boot race. I think that'll motivate him a little bit more. Salah may not start. I think he's 1 goal behind, so I think he's going to be out. He wants to go score that. You can see he was disappointed when he got taken off the pitch in the North London derby by Conte. So I think he wants to get there. He was unlucky against Burnley, but really backing him against Norwich. And then differential, Ryan Sessegnon is nailed. Reguilon is out the team. It's looking at some of those defenders that are playing some of the easier teams or weaker teams. So Chelsea versus Watford looks like a good pick. So I've already got James. So maybe someone like Alonso if you don't already have him.
Or a Pontus Janssen against
Pontus
Burnley.
Janssen against Leeds. Yeah. Well,
Leeds,
isn't it
sorry,
Against Leeds,
yeah. But for me, Sessegnon against Norwich, he's nailed on that left back, and him and Son are looking like they're working well together on that left side flank. So getting some of those assists could be a good pick there. So it's going to be close. I need to, like 2 weeks ago, I was top of the log and I was like all guns
Smiling.
blazing, top 50K, top 40K, top 30K, and now I'm like 87,000 in the world. It's fallen apart. But I blame Spurs. So if I had to choose between Spurs finishing 4th and winning FPL, I go Spurs finishing 4th.
Yeah.
That's a man who knows his priorities. Temple.
The problem is I could have none. Can you imagine I lose FPL and Spurs? then I
That could
disappear.
legitimately happen.
I disappear.
Then next
That would
season
be
we
too
will
much,
not
dude.
see Dean.
You won't
Last
see
week,
me.
Dean said if Spurs don't win, he's not coming back to the show. We made sure that they did win, and he's here. If Spurs disappoint him, he's not coming back on the show.
I promise you, I'm not coming back.
But anyway, Peppo, you're number 2. You're ahead of Dean by a couple of points going into this final showdown. This is your team. Teppo, your transfers. You went Bowen, Mount, Kane as captain, and Royale as your differential.
Yeah, so I'm gonna start with my transfer in. Like, first of all, I'm very reluctant to take out Mason Mount just before Watford, a guy that plays every minute of Chelsea's games. It's weird for him to sit out, and he could score the odd goal, getting in the assist, definitely part of the front three there. But yeah, just want to give a shout out to Jared Bowen. He's been doing pretty well right now. Decent form against Man United, Man City, and even throughout the season. I mean, he's been the type of player that just ticks over goals, like the same way Son does for Tottenham. It's just low key there. Jared Bowen scored another goal. Yeah, no one has him, so could be pretty explosive in this game against Brighton. They have a decent defense, but I think if anyone's going to score, it's probably going to be Jared Bowen. I think he's also on penalties because Antonio sucks. But yeah, going to the differential and the captain. Listen, guys, if you don't have a Spurs player in your team, get 3 Spurs players in your team. Norwich are the whipping boys. They've been the whipping boys for the whole season. Guys, no.
Except for Sunday.
I cannot... Except for Sunday. Look, no, I don't care. They're being relegated. They're a trash team. And Spurs are a decent team. They've proved it. Son, Kane are killers, guys. These guys score goals like it's a game. Do you see that North London derby where Kane is delivering balls from?
Yes,
all over the place.
We all did. Don't worry. Don't relive nightmares.
No,
Please
we must
not.
relive it for the sake of fantasy. For the sake of fantasy, you gotta go through the pain.
Harry,
make that guy your captain because he could just get a random penalty and then 2 penalties.
Kane for the pain. So
like,
Kane
truly.
for the pain.
Yes.
And also, in terms of differentials, I'm definitely on the same track as Dean. As soon as Conte came in, you knew he was playing with wing backs. Like, that was the key. So whenever there's a wing back, whether it's Doherty, whether it's Reguilon, whether it's Emerson Royale, they're always in the conversation. And these guys are cheap, bro. Cheap. 4.3 for Sessegnon, 4.5 for Emerson Royale. The difference I heard is that Royale goals and Sessegnon more expected. I already have Reguilon, Royale, and I don't want to be the same as Dean. But yeah, probably go for Sessegnon, like, honesty.
Fair.
Okay, guys. Any other sneaky captaincy options that you are thinking the viewers and the listeners might want to know?
Luis Diaz.
Yes.
That's Wi-Fi.
So, Dean, you said Luis Diaz.
Luis Diaz
Cyrus?
rules, I think. Well, let me just say, Salah, I think, might be still out. In which case, Mane will play because they both got the rest. So I think Mane plays, Luis Diaz plays, and maybe Firmino or one of the other guys. But I do think there's always a goal in Luis Diaz. So for me, they chasing.
The camera falls down.
And it's
while I'm trying to talk about
amazing point.
There we go. Luis Diaz.
But I like your point though. Luis Diaz will probably play if Salah doesn't play.
Yeah.
Is he the Diego Jota of next season, Luis Diaz?
He already is. He's the Diego Jota of this season.
Well, on FPL.
I think he's the Sadio Mane of next season. I think Diego Jota and Luis Diaz are definitely Salah Mane insurance. And why not integrate them into the squad nice and early, get them used to the system and the amount of games they've been playing as well after signing. That's what Jurgen Klopp does. So these guys are definitely Salah Mane insurance. Look, they might even get like another forward. I wouldn't be surprised if someone comes into the place of Firmino, literally, because he's sort of become like a squad player now. and he's becoming of age. So these are some competent transfer decisions from Liverpool.
Incredible.
Temple, on the weekend, we saw Jamie Vardy score some goals. Is the Vardy party going to continue? And can you
it's against. Wait, who are they playing in the last game?
You said last week you said Jamie Vardy.
Southampton.
Didn't he score?
And Southampton are terrible.
Didn't he score twice?
Yeah,
definitely.
So
Jamie Vardy, Barnes, Madison. Look, right now, you could get something explosive from Jamie Vardy, but Leicester were a lot more of prospects when they had that double game week. And I mean, look at the Leicester returns, 5-1 against. Yes, it was beautiful. So if you have a Leicester player, you should have got one last week and then just stay with them. I wouldn't be
terrible.
Terrible.
And I will say this: so as one of the other captaincy potential outliers here, we're looking past Cristiano Ronaldo. He's somehow weighed in with goals. Crystal Palace are not a great team, and if there's a game where Ronaldo could score something, it's against Palace, who have a good defense, but not necessarily a great defense.
No. Wait, I disagree. I disagree with that.
That's why your Wi-Fi is dying.
Yeah,
because
you not make points.
Okay, we're gonna leave it at that.
I'm back. Oh,
okay.
Yes. United are on the beach. Cristiano Ronaldo only plays for important games. Like, I don't think the thing is you don't know where he's going to start. He's too much money for someone that you don't know. But you know what? If you have the funds, if you're still sitting on Salah, I don't know. It's Salah against Ronaldo. Maybe you just know that Salah's starting, but you don't know Ronaldo. That's my 2 C's. Get Kane, bro. Get Kane, bro. No, get Kane. No.
I've told them.
Kane for the pain. To Cyrus. Yes. Okay. With that being said,
pray for me, everyone. Everyone that's watching this, pray for Spurs.
No,
you'll be fine, dude.
And pray for Spurs.
Stats, just follow the stats. You're good team.
I won't pray for Spurs. I think Spurs will do okay. I'm praying for Man City because I know way too many Liverpool supporters, and they're already unbearable.
Quickly. Yeah. Who's getting relegated? Who's the third person?
It's Leeds.
It's Leeds.
Not Burnley.
I would love it to be Burnley, but I just don't think that it is them, because Leeds play Brentford, and Brentford are tough. Burnley, Newcastle it's not an easy game, but Newcastle have done their share of glory chasing. They might go out and get something. Who's currently in the bottom 3? Isn't it
Leeds? Yes.
Burnley, isn't it?
Norwich, Watford, Leeds. No, Burnley.
Oh, Burnley's there.
Yeah.
But Leeds play tonight, so we're recording this before Leeds play.
Have a chance. Leeds have a chance. I mean, look, not that I dislike Burnley, but they really don't bring anything to the league. They haven't changed for years. They just went and fired the reason they were staying up in the first place in Sean Dyche, and so they're ready for life. Yeah, they're ready for outside of the Premier League. And so I'd say, look, I said Leeds, but I'm going to change that to Burnley. And I think that Newcastle, I think, will beat Burnley at home. And
they don't even have a manager. They don't even have a manager.
Yeah,
Ew.
It's madness.
Get out.
Cool. Yeah. Okay, guys, thank you very much for joining us. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the final weekend of FPL. It's been a marathon. I hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you've enjoyed our podcast. And we'll see you at the start of the new season when we start filling out our teams. But good luck to Dean. Good luck to Temple. Good luck to you, Cyrus. As we try and finish as high as possible for all of us. It feels like a marathon, and I feel like the elite runners, Dean and Temple, are so far ahead. And then the rest of us are just, running for fun. But it's been fun. So enjoy the weekend. Have a good one. Goodbye and le sale kakagiso.